Okay, imagine this. What if you, and only you, had the cure for a dying king? And what if that cure was your one and only shot at winning over someone who is completely out of your league? Well, today, we're jumping right into the high-stakes world of Shakespeare's All's Well That Ends Well, a wild story about a miracle cure, a very bold choice, and a seemingly impossible challenge. And this isn't just some story I cooked up. Nope, we're talking about a play that's been around for 400 years, written by the man himself, William Shakespeare. It's actually one of his problem plays, which is a fancy way of saying it mixes comedy with some pretty dark, serious stuff. It's a tale that is just packed with ambition, brutal rejection, and just unbelievable nerve.
So let's get right to the heart of it, the big question. Imagine the person you're in love with is just completely unattainable. We're talking different social class, different world, everything. What would you be willing to risk to be with them? Would you actually gamble your own life on a miracle cure for a king just for a shot at love?
Now, our story really gets going because of two massive problems. The first is, a huge deal for the whole country. The second one, it's deeply personal and, honestly, seems totally hopeless. So, you've got these two things happening at once. On one side, the King of France is dying from an illness that all his fancy royal doctors have given up on. The whole kingdom is basically in despair. Then, on the other side, you've got our hero, Helena. She's the daughter of a doctor, so she's not a noble, but she is head over heels in love with Count Bertram, who is so far above her socially that the idea of them getting married is, well, it's a complete fantasy. But here's the thing about Helena. She is no passive dreamer. She has a secret weapon, you could say, and it's given her an incredibly audacious idea. She actually thinks she can solve both of these impossible problems in one fell swoop. And her secret weapon? It comes from her late father, Gerard de Narbonne. Now, this guy wasn't just a doctor. He was a legend. People said his skills were so amazing, he could have made nature immortal. And right before he died, he passed down all his greatest medical secrets to his daughter, including a special proven cure for the exact sickness that's killing the king. This quote right here, it's basically Helena's personal motto. She's not sitting around waiting for fate or some miracle from above to fix things. She believes the power to change her life is right there inside herself. She has the cure, she has the ambition, and she is absolutely going to do something about it. But let's be real. The sheer scale of what she wants is immense. She describes loving Bertram as being like a regular person looking up at the sky and deciding to marry a star. It's a beautiful line, but it really drives home just how massive that social gap between them is. I mean, that's the mountain she's decided she's going to climb. And this brings us to her brilliant two-part plan. First, she's going to march right into Paris and use her father's secret remedy to cure the king. And second, when the king offers her a reward, she's going to ask for the one thing she really wants, the right to pick any husband she wants from his court. And yeah, she already knows exactly who she's going to pick. So Helena makes it to the royal court, and she pitches her idea directly to the king, who is, you can imagine, pretty skeptical. I mean, all his experts have failed. But Helena proposes a bargain that he just can't refuse, a true all-or-nothing, life-or-death gamble. The terms are just wow. They are astonishing. She gets 2 days. 2. If she fails, she's not just banished. She has agreed to be publicly tortured and executed. But if she succeeds, the king swears an oath to let her marry any nobleman she chooses. The risk is absolutely everything, but the reward, it's the one thing she's ever wanted. And believe it or not, her cure works. It's a flat-out miracle. But, and this is a big but, solving the king's problem ends up creating a brand new crisis, one she definitely did not see coming. Against all the odds, she pulls it off. The king, who is knocking on death's door, is back to perfect health. The entire court is stunned. Helena has performed a miracle, and now it's time for the king to pay up. So, with all the young single noblemen of France lined up in front of her, Helena makes her choice. She walks straight to Count Bertram and claims him as her husband. This is it. It's the moment her whole crazy plan was leading to. Her impossible dream is finally real. But Bertram's reaction is horror. Right there, in front of everyone, he completely rejects her. A poor physician's daughter, my wife. He's insulted, he's disgusted, his pride just can't handle it. In an instant, her greatest victory turns into her most public, painful humiliation. Well, the king is furious with Bertram's attitude. I mean, this woman just saved his life. He reminds Bertram that he's the king and he can make her a noble right then and there. So Bertram is forced to marry her. But on their wedding night, he flees France, sends Helena away, and runs off to join the wars in Italy, refusing to ever be a husband to her. So now Helena has a wedding ring, but she's a wife in name only. And to make things even worse, Bertram doesn't just leave. He sends her a letter with a cruel and what seems to be an impossible challenge that she has to complete before he'll ever even consider himself her husband. In this letter, he lays down two conditions, and these aren't just difficult, they are specifically designed to be impossible. It's his final, cruel way of making sure their marriage is never, ever real. So get this. Here are his demands. First, she has to get his family ring off his finger, a ring he vows will never leave it. And second, she has to be pregnant with his child. Only once she's done both of those things can she call him husband. And he ends the letter by literally writing that he believes that day will be never. So after all that, the brilliant plan, the life and death bet, the miracle cure, Helena is in an even more impossible spot than when she started. She won her prize, only to have it blow up in her face. Her greatest victory has just become her greatest challenge. The question is, what on earth could she possibly do next?